Welcome back to some professional StarCraft to a Terran versus Zerg, best of 5. And you should recognize both these names. They need no introduction, but I gotta justify my presence here. So let me introduce, in this Team Liquid Starleague 9 lower bracket match, we got a best of 5. In the top right, the man, the myth, the Maru. The #1 Terran player, almost past the memory of any other Terran players. He's been playing professional StarCraft 2 since the age of 13. And he's been a force to be reckoned with essentially since then. Now, one of the very few, the incredibly short list of players who may actually be a favorite against him, or at least able to contend. We do have the sometimes Protoss, sometimes Zerg, always charismatic, incredibly fast Reynor. The Italian Stallion, probably the fastest player in StarCraft 2, averaging over 500 actions per minute, which is approximately 1 carpal tunnel per decade. He is, essentially when Cyril's not around, or if you need Cyril taken out, this is the man to do it. Though has a bit of a shakier record against Maru, Showtime, those other top players. Honestly, I think the big difference between Cyril and Reynor, and the inevitable comparisons between the two as they face off so often, is Reynor is mechanically, I don't know if mechanically better, but he's faster, he's more precise. But at the same time, he's more impatient. He's less willing to let the enemy come to him, or wait till he's out of position. He goes for it. And against Maru, I'm thinking back to DreamHack not too long ago. Against that more, in Reynor's words, Maru is very good at camping. All right, he's sitting around the door in Call of Duty behind the door with a shotgun, waiting for you to come to him. Those ghosts, no matter how you open up. And Reynor has a tendency to break himself against the defenses. But we got a best of 5 starting on Waterfall. The smallest map in the pool. Not too many bases to work with. Not too much space between them. And what do we have? Maru kicking it off with the reactor. He already scouted the timing of everything on the other side. He's actually got a 2-gas opener, which is quite rare against Terran, but allows him to get his factory starport. Now getting his expansion. What did Reynor see here? He saw everything. He got the lings up into the main. He saw the reactored barracks. He saw the unreactored factory. That's kind of key. Though it's not a guarantee it's going to remain that way. And Maru has been opting for this style. Maru and the lighter Hellion early medevac. Terran players have been experimenting. They've been branching out a bit from the same trunk of the tech tree, the Barracks Factory Starport Opener, which allows you essentially access to every Terran unit in the early game, all the way from the lowly Marine up to Battlecruisers. And there's actually an incredibly large diversity of units used in the matchup right now. Of course, I mean on the Terran side of things. On the other side, we have Queens, and sometimes Zerglings, but mostly Queens. Reynor no stranger to them, building 2 of them right now, adding a few more Zerglings. No Baneling nest. 3 in gas now after speed finish. Gonna be able to tech up a little more quickly afterwards. The Hellions poke in. The medevac over to the right flank. And I think it was spotted by an Overlord, with the Zerglings trying to duel with the Hellions. Off a creep. The Zerglings are slightly faster, but the Hellions, of course, are a massive danger. Oh, the Widow Mine is burrowed in such a disgusting low. Oh no! Oh, the opening salvo of this match. 10 Zerglings with a single mine. Oh, he definitely mines that. Maru incredibly good about dropping that mine out in hard to get locations. Just in that little corner, the hard to reach, the ones your dentist always tells you not to let mines into. And you're like, oh, did you check your mineral line for mines? Like, no. Oh, I totally have been. All right. No, we both know you either haven't been flossing or preparing for mines in that location, and let's not lie about it. Just leaves everyone unhappy, especially the Zerglings. 1-1 already started for Maru. And by 1-1, I mean +1 attack. He's got a single engineering bay. He's following up with 4 more barracks and a tank. So this is a 2-base timing for Maru here. Looking to do deadly damage to Reynor, who's now starting his 1-1. He hasn't actually started his lair yet. There is no Baneling nest. Reynor, I think, is misreading. An Overlord came in and saw an upgrading tech lab for the starport. I don't know if he bid on that, but he does have at least 1 spore crawler. Yeah, I don't think he expected the cloaked banshees. He called that bluff. The problem is, for Reynor, that's 61 drones and counting. 1-1, the 4th hatchery, the Baneling nest, more gas guzzlers. There almost couldn't be a longer list of things that are great to have in the long run, but are a costly investment in the short one. Essentially, everything Reynor is doing is designed to pay off later on, whereas everything Maru is doing, including not even slapping reactors on his barracks, is aimed at winning the game as soon as possible. As soon as these medevacs come across the map with +1 in stim, well, now's a good time. 1 auto turret distracting, a couple Hellions going down. The Raven can help clear creep. Anti-armor missile is a decent option against the Queens. No, they're all up for creep! Oh no! Well, a lot of Zerglings are coming out, but the Queens have been split off from the Zerglings, can be hunted down individually. There's a couple tanks even before all this. Even scanning ahead despite the Raven. Can never be too careful. The tank's in a nasty location. Baneling speed just starting. But if these Banelings don't connect, I don't think we'll see it end. Oh, Reynor. He's trying to bring... Well, the Zerglings are trying to come in from the north. The tank damage has to be split somehow, but the Queens are already getting done down by the +1 Marines. 1-1 seconds from completing. But Reynor decides he has to go. The upgrades finish for a single-digit number of surviving Zerglings and Banelings. Maru's timing slicing to the heart of the swarm, and he's tearing through Reynor in game 1. Well, that was decisive, that was quick, and you have to expect that on a map that small. You have to at least enter it in to the back of your mind, if not the forefront, but Reynor seems like he kind of went back to a default mode, where oh, I can get the drones, get a 4th. All right, we're going to macro up. I'm sure he's Maru, he's got a 3rd CC. All right, he walks into the Starbucks and he puts the 3rd CC down on the counter. I don't know what that is supposed to mean, but he just throws them away. Leaves them as a tip, but no, for once, Maru doesn't go for the 3rd CC. He goes for more Rex, and he rolls over Reynor in game 1. But we're on day to see. I don't think Reynor's going to be a pushover. And Reynor, remember, unfazed by going down in this series. The amount of times he's come back from a 2-0 deficit is, it's not overwhelming. He doesn't usually lose 2 games in a row, but he is one of the very few players who I think truly does not tilt. I remember, I believe it was I Am Katowice earlier this year, the World Championship, the biggest stage, defending his championship, but he's down against Big Gabe 2-0 to very similar things, like a quick tank push, a solid timing, and just not having enough to defend. But Reynor bounces back and takes 3 in a row, which, an impressive mental and just experience feat. So, Maru got his 1. He's not sending out any SCVs for racks on the map, which I expect at least once this series we'll see it. But a well-executed tank timing. Will Reynor make any changes? This is just... Data C is much harder to do in early timing, though there is a pretty nasty tank location on this ledge here behind the minerals. You can easily choke that off. Not that the Zerglings can't get there, but the minerals themselves form a disgusting choke point. You can drop the tanks with the medevacs. That's where we see a lot of tank pushes start really doing damage against a Zerg, especially a Zerg who expands to the linear location here. Now, of course, if you expand to the base outside your main, But now you're vulnerable to drops. A drop can threaten both your main and the third or fourth. At some point, both these bases will likely be taken if the game goes on long enough. We'll just have to see what Maru decides to do about it, if he's able, of course. Another 2 gas build. Maru sticking with it. This is definitely a more tech-heavy style. A more early aggression-oriented Terran. I wonder if this is specifically for Reynor, or if this is just a style he's been trying out. The Maru is the stereotype. He is the standard. He's decided we're going 3 command centers. That is how you play Terran. You are incorrect when you don't go 3 command center. But now he's saying, you know what? Maybe not. Starport. And out on the map, what are you doing, Marines? What are you doing out there? Yo, hello. 4 Marines, all the way up. You can't just walk up that. You can't just. What? Excuse me, sir. This is private property. Maru with the epitome of confidence. He does understand at this time you don't really want to make Zerglings. You really do not. You want to use all that larva, especially pre-injects, on getting drones, and not waste the minerals on things that are not even guaranteed to be useful. Those Zerglings standing around are not really adding to your economy. Behind it, Maru with an armory and 4 Widow Mines. So he's going to lean on the mine drop yet again, but this one is going to burrow much deeper. With the armory, those mines remain cloaked. They remain burrowed and undetectable without, like, a spore or something, even after firing. On top of that, access to Hellbats as well, though there's only a couple Hellions out here. Reynor. The Queen count is at 7, though not a single Spore Crawler. Well, he didn't spot he came in with the Overlord and did not spot the armory. He even spotted the factory moving off the reactor. So this is exactly this is the most mixed message Reynor could get. Right now he's expecting just a bio push behind, reacts very quickly to the Widow Mines. But Maru actually zones it out into the main. Those drones gotta run. Oh my god, they're getting jammed up. Brenda, no! The Queen and her copious posterior seem to have blocked many of the drones from escaping. It could have been much worse. It's somehow only 5 drones have died thus far. A couple, the mines ended up firing at the natural as well. So far, 5 drones, 8 lings. Once again, could be worse, but definitely done some damage so far. It's not over yet. More Zerglings trying to get rid of it, but it burrows. Detection is required. There's an Overseer somewhere around the mine. Okay, all right. The mine. Oh no, he got 8 drones with this one. It's never the ones you're thinking about. It's the ones you think you've already dealt with. Mine's well, living up to their name here. Reynor just assumed he had dealt with it at the natural. The Zerglings would take care of it. Well, 8 drones are... Is that in total? Yeah, that was 8 more on top of it. The drones must have been transferring back, thinking they were safe. All clear called. Well, Maru follows this up with the 5 racks again. Maru's mass marine micro and medevacs. But Reynor this time has adapted like any good Zerg. He's not going up to 60 drones. He is taking a 4th, but Baneling speed is nearly complete. Baneling speed not just for the Baneling speed, but for 5 additional HP on those Banes, which is a huge deal in closing the distance against the Marines and against the tanks. Yep. And that nasty tank positioning already set up. Maru boldly moving forward. The Queens, a lot of transfuse energy available. Creep everywhere here. Combat shield +1, but here comes Maru. And by Maru, of course, I mean Reynor, as Reynor just kind of tries to collapse on it. The tanks take some big bites out of the Baneling count, but overall, Reynor just kind of crushes it for now. Maru was able to escape easily into the medevacs. Loses the tanks as they can no longer fly, much like the Queens, a lot in common. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. The Marines, though. You need the Banelings to be able to cut down on the critical mass of Marines. The Queens have to use a lot of their transfuses, and not all of them survive. The Lings and Banes cutting off the reinforcements. The remnants of a tank flying up into the sky there. And the thing is, no third command center. Usually these pushes, the default is they're incredibly strong, and all they have to do is keep the Zerg busy, because the Terran player is a good economy behind. Right now, Maru kind of has an obligation to do damage, as Reynor has twice the amount of mining bases. With just a few more drones, he's still comfortably ahead in income, getting +1 carapace as the priority against these tanks and Marines. The creep spread continuing across. Some more Banelings. The target fire from Maru, impeccable, and gets out. Splits off the double-double now. Marines at both watchtowers to try to maintain some semblance of map control. Maru so intent on expanding, not even bothering with an orbital command as he floats it down from the main. Maru reaching out. He knows he can't take a heads-up fight right now. A single, cute, cuddly, but deadly Zergling. And there's never just one. Literally. There's no such thing as one Zergling. They come in packs. So who knows if that egg brother is still intact. That's depressing. They're born by two, but they don't always die like that. 2-2 starts. The command center is able to drop down, but look at the supply. Oh my. Well, he brings more racks online. But Reynor, as soon as he presses that back, explodes up to 83 drones. A comfortable 4-base economy and counting. Spore Crawlers putting a timer on the medevacs heading for the main. Reynor knows better than to keep all his army committed to chasing down medevacs. Creep extending more than halfway across the map, though Maru starting to clean some of it up. The Queen's out to meet him. Marauders, okay against him, depending on the upgrades, but the Carapace upgrade is somewhat helpful. Aspire is on the way as Reynor looking towards Mutas. A bold move. Another set of Lings and Banes driven back. The Widowmine's kind of zoning. Reynor doesn't want to take too long, as the Marines and Marauders are going to gun down a lot of the Lings in the process. Where are the Overseers right now? As that armory, remember, has been done for so long. Did Maru make a second armory, or did he remember the first one? I think he did. A very interesting choice to go for the Mutas in this scenario. Maybe trying to compound his map control, but Maru's going to have well-upgraded bio. Trying to draw the Banelings into the Marauders, but slurps everything up into the medevacs in time. Joins up with the reinforcements. The Mutas are the only realistic option for taking out the medevacs, at least before Hive Tech. But at the same time, they're also incredibly expensive and fragile. So Reynor, he's going to have to make use of those Mutas before Maru starts to consolidate his forces. And it might already be too late as Maru is pressing forward. The 6 o'clock base vulnerable, half HP. The Muta's just fighting, heads up. Marauders, don't shoot up, tip me over. Not gonna work out. The Widowmines connect all over the medevacs, but also over the Mutas. Meanwhile, Maru fighting into the Queens, which will hold for now. +1 melee attack. Seems quite belated, but will finish. Trying to target the mines here. One of the mines connects onto an Overseer. Probably the best case scenario is Reynor's army gets bogged down. Oh, another base under fire. The Marauders doing so much damage. Banelings rolling through. Marine picked up. Marauders left underneath. As they can take the hits. The Queen's coming up. Some transfuses needed on the hatchery. But the supply, look at it. kind of a devastating turnaround. The Muta's not able to do enough. Reynor down to 3 bases as Maru building a 4th command center. And right now, tearing through everything. Oh, Maru. Again. The Mutas were not it. Maru able to maintain the Marine Marauder medevac momentum. A menacing presence as he works his way through. I don't know. It's not good. It's not good. Reynor, he's trying different things to contend with the constant kind of parade push. He shut down the early pressure, but the upgrades really kicked in for Maru, and he never, it's not that Maru did a lot of damage, but he never took much damage at home. I don't know if he lost a single SCV that game. Well, it's on you again, Reynor. We were talking about it. I didn't expect it. I don't know how this series goes. But it's a tall order. There's only one other person in the world I think would be a harder player to win 3 in a row against. Of course, we're talking about Reynor's nemesis, Serral. I'm not even sure, really. I don't think the Mutas, maybe against like a cure or something, the Mutas can find some purchase, but Maru never let up. The pressure just continued across the map. It does feel kind of tailored to Reynor's style. Just never let him up off the map. Never let him get out there. And it's a very different style than we saw in those IM games months ago. And we've seen recently. It's not the Ghost Turtle. It's just full barracks momentum. And never letting Zerg really get that map control they can use so well, especially once the creep starts spreading so far across the map. Maru just kind of kept a handle on it. Well, now Game 3 is inside and out. I gotta turn things around. I don't know if you're Reynor. It feels like it would maybe an overcommitment, like in the other direction. Also, Maru's Widowmine drop openers are getting a lot done. They're getting more than a lot more than you want them to. It feels really bad, Zerg, to take damage from mine drops. Because on paper, you have everything you need. You can get a Spore Crawler, Zerglings, Queens. But those pesky mines, kind of a gut punch to Reynor's early game. And this time it looks like we may see Hellions. But a second gas again from Maru. I take it all back. Let me just edit that out. Another 2 gas opener. A single Hellion? Well, maybe not then. The benefit of having the extra Marines early is a lot less vulnerability to like roach all-ins, to Zergling timings. Things that like a 3cc Hellion build are definitely, those are weak points where you hit before starport kicks in or before there's much of a ground army and you pretty easily get rolled over by a competent Zerg. But Maru is never giving Reynor that opportunity. Reynor has not attempted it. But once again, it's going to be the reactored Marines with a mine, the more minimalist opener this time. Same as game 1. Medevac on the way. And it'll come down to the Widowmine hit, I think. Hellions added on. Still the best option against the eventual Ling Flood that is usually prompted by such an opener. And will we see the 2-base mass Rex again behind it? I don't see why not. It's working. Reynor had Bane speed, but Banelings are not free. Goes straight for the Overlord. Doesn't drop out the mine, so leaves very little to the imagination about what else could be in the medevac. There's another Overlord there, but Maru decides no more time for detours. I take it back. The mine here maybe can target the Ovi. He target fires the Ovi. Oh my god, and he gets it out.
What a save! What a...
Oh, let's give him one. What a play. That is so annoying as a Zerg player. That is... He should keep getting away with it. The budget Viking here. Of course, losing it will be ceding the entirety of map control to Reynor. At least for a while yet. As there's nothing that's going to keep the queens from spreading as well as the lings from looking for opportunities on the other side of the map. Yeah, a few Hellions, but those aren't going to be able to put the same amount of pressure on. A Zergling gets in. A very important Zergling, by the way. Sees the racks timing, sees the engineering bay, sees the upgrading tech lab on the racks, and sees it's very similar to the previous match. Some creep shut down. Maru utilizing these ravens. The Widow Mine still being annoying. Nothing to actually easily deal with it. Maybe tanks a hit. Nope. Loses a queen instead. Oh, come on, Maru. Come back here. What are you... Oh, my God. He's so annoying. This is a... Not... Oh. You're not loving this, if you're Reynor. This is the most annoying flavor of Terran. And the thing is, now you have to play a bit of a guessing game. You know something's coming. I guess Baneling speed plus spamming Zerglings, and then denying a third. But... Well, is this guy gonna... The queen count, there's a dozen queens. And most of them have a solid chunk of energy. There's probably half a dozen transfuses at least. The Zerglings and Banelings looking for a full-on counter. Now this is something we haven't really seen. Actually, they're going to roll all the way around. The pathing on this map, you get caught between a rock and a hard place pretty easily. The same applies to both sides. Widowmine actually connects into the tank. Maru caught a little off-center here. The Marines have to retreat into the corner. Oh my god! They could have kissed the Banelings there as they went into the medevac, but Reynor doesn't quite find him. Still, not an incredibly success... Brenda! What, Lucille? You come back here, get on the creep, spread the creep. One job. Or like 8 jobs, actually. We wear a lot of hats. Banelings exhausted on the Hellions. A lot of Ling Bane on the other side. Maru's building a third command center. +1 attack is done. He's got a lot of SCVs. Maru picking up from his own natural. Unfortunately, though, the Banelings make it in. The tank splits the Banelings at the last second, gets 10 SCVs. Maru gonna try to press in for some counter damage. Yeah, the Marines will very likely get this base, but the other base has already started on the opposite side for Reynor. Now, not too far along, but 3 base to 2 is still a significant advantage, especially with those SCV kills. That's going to put Reynor in a comfortable position to continually deny the third. And he should be able to have enough units to defend drops as well. Well, this is a little awkward. 3 medevacs shown. Reynor can't know that only like 1.5 of them are full. He has to respect the potential. +1 Carapace. This time, alright. So, game 1, he just died. Game 2, he tried the Mutas. This time, Hydralisk Den. The middle of the road choice, but against someone, when you have map control and you have the economy, the big weakness of Hydras is in an even money game, they just don't trade that well. But if you're ahead on economy, and you can afford to just bludgeon these armies, oh my god, the queen count. 17 queens. The Hydras are the range damage you're looking for, and of course the potential to transition into lurkers later on is right there. Maru, once again, gonna try to keep the pressure on while he establishes his third. But each of these games, Reynor's getting a little closer here. I'd say this is the best start so far. He's got 77 drones, he's got a comfortable fourth, he's got a supply lead, good creep, and he's got 17 queens! He's almost got a queen for every year he's been alive! Yeah, you feel old yet? Oh. 17 queens. Not all of them are at the front, though. The majority. 13 queens out there. Hydra's gonna help take these rocks down. Maru keeping the pressure on. 2-2 on the way. So +2 attack a little bit quicker than the armor upgrade. Muscular augments that Hydra speed upgrade. Everything coming together here for Reynor, but +1 melee ain't there yet. Few Widow Mines to backstop the army. Maru actually has slightly more army supply. Banelings. Oh, anti-armor missile coming in as the Raven spurred into action. Looks menacingly from the back line. Anti-armor missile makes it that much easier to take down these Banelings. But there's enough of them, it's driving everything back. The Widow Mines connect, almost killing the Raven in the process. +2 infantry weapons completing. Burrow on the way. Is there an infestation pit? Yes. Is there a hive? Is there a hive? Yes. The queens. Oh, so many queens here. He's finally, like, we joke about it, but it appears the baseline, the core of Reynor's defense, is nearly 20 queens. Serving every purpose from defense to offense to map control to economy with that larva inject. Widow Mines. Banelings detonate. Take out the mines before they do critical damage. Force Maru away on the right flank. Hydras looking to chase down the medevacs. They don't have boost off cooldown yet. A full medevac vulnerable boost away. Another nearly full medevac. A strong gust of wind would be enough as Reynor pushes into the third. Banelings leading the charge. Connect on some of the Marines. The attack on the left side, the Queens shut it down. Those Chew Toy depots absorbing a lot of the damage. More creep. Scanned for. Queens at nearly full energy. +2-2. Up against 1-1, though Reynor closing and +2 Carapace completes. Still, a lot of Widow Mines dotted throughout the map. Lurker Den on the way. Hive is already done. Adrenal Gland should be starting. Adrenal Gland should be starting as soon as he deals with this drop likely. But Adrenal Glands for that Zergling attack speed upgrade. A huge buff to the Zerglings if they're actually able to close the distance. But here comes the parade push on the right flank simultaneously. Raven moving up. Raven dies immediately. Banelings connect. Drop at the back. Queen shut down a bit of it. 11 SCVs, though, as Maru not able to keep up with all the action he's spurred out on the map. The Widow Mines not finding the connections. The drop. Another Queen gunned down, but the rest of her sisters coming for vengeance. Drones taken out. The Burrow. Immediate scan out of Maru. Vipers are here. 153 supply, and right now Reynor in a commanding position overall. Maru scrambling to keep him busy. The problem is, there's lurkers on the way. The Zerglings have found their way by. Reynor has been allowed out on the map, and Maru is the worst for it. The attack will continue on the right flank. +3 infantry weapons about to complete. If the lurker den is taken out before the lurker upgrades complete, that means a lot more time to get ghosts and a lot more time to keep on pressure. Maru dropping immediately. The Queen might be able to take out the medevac, but still. The Marines and Marauders are dragging Reynor away. There's okay, that's a changeling, not a Widowmine. Lurker range is halfway done. Come on with these medevacs, accidentally burrowing the queens. Creep being swept away, but there's actually so many creep tumors. That's the limiting factor for now. Yanks on a medevac. Gets one, gets two. Still, some more mines need to be dealt with. Do they find a shot? Indeed they do. Reynor kind of splits away from it. Maru scrambling here. There's no medevacs back here. That stim is a permanent damage. The Lurker, range complete. Seismic spines ripping through the ground. And finding a lot of damage, but not a critical amount. Not yet. Now, without Ghosts, the Ghost Academy just now starting. Going back to school as Maru, as he learns, starting to regret the lack of those late-game units. A couple tanks in position, but without Ghosts. It's not double-digit Lurkers, but there are Vipers here. Yeah, give me that tank. Get over here. There's still a few mines collecting kills on the way across the map. The death tax. But blinding cloud, a beautiful spread of bio units. I can't believe it's not butter. But the ground well lubricated with blood as Reynor rips through the defenses. And Maru's low-tech bio army not able to compete with the Lurkers on the field. Reynor strikes back. Up against the ropes is when Reynor is most comfortable. Maru tried for a third time, that bio timing. And this time, Reynor, it was the counterattacks. It's Reynor's namesake. It's Reynor's signature. Are those counterattacks, the cutoffs, the Zerglings at the back. And that is where he shines the brightest. And I think that made all the difference in Game 3. Game 4 is on Tropical Sacrifice. Probably an apt name here. I'm loving the style out of Maru. Is it? Oh, I thought that SCV was going out. But I hope you guys are enjoying the cast. By the way, you made it this far. You're 4 games in. Might I remind you, ever so humbly, a lot of people say I'm one of the most humble casters, to smash that like button. To maybe check out some more casts, over 500, and I think, especially over the last couple of years, still worth checking out. There haven't been, for better or worse, too many patches, so still a lot of great games on the current patch. And who do you want to see? What is a little, a lesser-known player that you want to see? I'll be honest, as a humble American caster in a sea of Dutch YouTubers, I am drawn to the big high-profile names. The Marus, the Reynors, the Serals, the Showtimes. It just doesn't... It's a bigger risk to cast some of the lesser-known players. And YouTube definitely lets me know that, as I can see the interest. But some of the players I've been really liking lately, Estrella, Trigger from America as well. I know, what a name, but another Protoss player. Gumiho, of course, though I think most of you guys know Gumiho. Spirit is a Terran, formerly known as Soul as well. These are all players that, like, if I get enough people interested, then I'll definitely try to show some more of their games. But of course, there's so much incredible StarCraft almost every day, if not every weekend or week, with the ESL Open Cup. A shout out to Dave Testa, by the way. If you haven't checked him out on Twitch, hosting smaller tournaments as well on a pretty regular basis. Team Alpha X does a lot. This is, of course, the Team Liquid Starleague. Team Liquid, a mainstay in StarCraft. In fact, Team Liquid started as a Brood War site. Probably before Reynor was born. Is when Team Liquid was first started. So, it's been a long journey, but thank you for taking it with me. Oh yeah, and if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to check out our Friday streams. I'm streaming on YouTube now that the Twitch exclusivity is no longer as strict I expect Loco to be joining me in that because what usually happens is I come up with a great idea or start something, and then Loco does it in a much more marketable way. Shout out to my favorite forehead. But here we are. We made it 3 whole minutes. Maru's made a 3rd command center. Oh, I can keep talking then. But yeah, currently Fridays. Streaming. I was trying out the 1 versus 7 insane AI. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. I like to think that people like watching me to get some real appreciation for how good actually good players are. That's a nice way of putting it, right? So, thank you guys for watching again. And I hope you've enjoyed. That sounded like I'm leaving forever. No, I was kind of just filling time in this most passive of games. As Maru has gone with the 3cc into Stim with a Viking. Possibly the most passive Terran opener. Reynor, happy to get a little bit of breathing room. He has instead opted for just chilling. No quick anything here, just queens. Double NG bay. Interesting, one at the front, part of the wall, and then one at the back. Reynor might be baited into thinking it's some sort of timing, because usually you cut out the +1 armor if you're going for a quick timing in order to facilitate, or use that gas for more high-tech units like tanks. But no, it's just finishing off that wall off. In fact, so far we've seen 1 Zergling and 1 Overlord die. So if I was going to monologue, yeah, I chose the right game. Oh my. Baneling Nest, 1-1, +1 infantry and armor. Maru's 3rd command center is done. He's landing it already. I mean, he's up to 45 SCVs, which means he's moving into 3 base economy. I expect Reynor to take a 4th. Yep. Now, the one thing we're missing are the evolution chambers. The upgrades, which Maru has maintained a comfortable lead in throughout the series. Baneling speed, by far the largest and most pressing priority. Reynor is making a lot more Zerglings than just defense entails here. He has not made any evolution chambers. He's making Baneling speed. And he's banking gas. Which tells me this very passive game, where Maru has lost nothing, may change dramatic... Oh, I thought he was going to do a Bigling Bane timing, and then he started 2 Evo chambers. It's been a while. That's like a Wings of Liberty build. Is Baneling speed timing. It's almost entirely defensive nowadays, but I don't think Reynor will sit back much further from now. All right. Well, let the game begin. You can wake up now. It's starting. The Marines going forward. Zergling counterattack. No, there is no wall. No, only 2 Zerglings get into the main. That's still better than none for Reynor. Keeps Maru busy. In fact, I think we got a bit of an F2 there. As he scrambles back to defend. A bit awkwardly, he gathers himself and takes down those creep tumors. The Queens looking to match it. 1-1 is on the way. Is there an armory? Yes. And that means Maru can start the 2-2 just after Reynor started his 1-1. Assuming he prioritizes it. That is kind of an insane upgrade advantage, but the Hydras worked. Reynor thinks the Hydras worked. He's going for them again, but he does have to defend against this. How many Banelings? Not enough. The Queens to hold the line. Hellbats just to absorb as many Banelings as possible. There's a single Widow Mine in there. The Transfusers are keeping everything intact. Oh no! Oh no! Every Baneling! Well, another mine. Oh, the Widow Mines are just doing too much. But at the same time, Banelings on the other side obliterate the mineral line. 16 SCVs, a critical blow to Maru's economy. Not a deadly one, but absolutely key. Maru getting fancy, microing his Marines, trying to make sure those Widow Mines get the maximum damage, and a few roly-polies come into the mineral line and just obliterate any chances of staying even on economy. With those 16 LCVs, Maru would have comfortable Octo-Rex production. He's added 3 more barracks at the 3rd. But now he's down to 60 workers. He's going to have to rebuild those. It'll cut into his momentum. You can already see the supply gap starting to widen up bits. Though 1-1, Reynor really wants to wait till that 1-1's done. If he can do so, another set of Banelings here as Maru might get caught out. The medevac will spot it. Should be able to deal with this. 1-1 is now done for Reynor. And these exchanges, well, right now the upgrades are even. So, not nearly as decisive for Maru. The Marines fire real fast. And even faster after they take their stim packs somehow. Don't question it. How does it make them shoot faster? I don't know. Well, running up the ramp, the Banelings. Decent split, but Maru eats some hits. Another huge group of Banelings. Those Marines, very vulnerable right now. The Banelings rolling past, splitting. Off a creep, the Marines are able to outrun them once again with those all-purpose stim packs. For the low price of 10 HP off your life, you might be able to outrun Banelings and live a bit longer. The dangerous go, oh my god. Decent Bane hit to kick it off. Reynor's already maxed out. Oh, he's using the Rocks and Marauders as a vanguard against the Lings and Banes. Meanwhile, Maru on the right flank. Widowmine goes down before it can get any critical damage. The Banelings just gun down nearly aimbot levels of target fire. Thing is, those Marines... Oh, that one Baneling making a lot of difference here. Hydras adding the damage from the backline. They don't need any upgrades to be very helpful as long as there's enough in front. The economy that Reynor, the economic lead that Reynor has ground out throughout this. Oh my. Well, yeah, that tells a story. Ever since that Bane hit at the 3rd, that's all it took. And this game has tilted towards Reynor ever since. Of course, as Maru gets more and more done with these Marines and Marauders, assuming the Banelings don't get a huge connection. He is working towards +3 attack. Reynor does not have Hive on the way. He just started the infestation, but huge Zergling counterattack seconds before the 4th command center is finishing. He has to cancel. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that's a, like, put your foot with a sock on it down in a puddle of water level. It's not... It definitely ruins at least the next hour, if not the rest of your day. People gotta clean up after themselves. Get rid of those Zerglings. Reynor's at 200 supply right now. Bringing down the rocks. Maru once again playing this M game here. He might lose himself in it. As there's no Ghost Academy. 3-3 on the way. The worker count, he's struggling to get above 60. He's kind of resigned himself to trying to win the game before Reynor gets that Hive deck. Lurkers are the win condition again. If not just an overwhelming amount of Lings and Lisks. The base is taken out. The speed-boosted medevacs, 4 of them, filled up, heading towards the main. Off of that kill. Still, Maru, a potent force, has actually slightly more army supply. The first upgrade for Reynor with Hive Tech is going to be Adrenal Glands. But without Banelings, doesn't matter how much damage the Zerglings do if they can't close the distance. Oh no, the Queens catch some of the medevacs wandering across the creep in the center of the map, but the Marauders and Marines will chase them down, gunning down 1. Maru's still incredibly potent right now, especially with 3-3 about to finish. There is still a window for him to drive this game. Oh no, it's a never mind. That window is slammed shut with a brick thrown through it. That's, yeah, both of those things. As Reynor, with another massive counterattack, drops Maru under 50 SCVs. And that is all but it for economy. In comparison, at least, to the Zerg. Oh, the sheer number of Banelings. 35 here. The Zerglings. I'm pretty... Well, there's not enough space to drop the bio-army. The army supply for Maru is massive. But he cannot rebuild it easily. Whereas Reynor is trying to figure out how to lose his units efficiently. Oh, Maru! The Banelings come rolling in. He gets the hatch, but at what cost? The lurkers are finishing just in time. The scan is there. No amount of splits is going to deal with that. They don't have range done, but it's seconds away. Adrenal glands is here. The spore crawlers. The queens will angrily gun down those medevacs. And Reynor takes back 2. He says, not today, Maru. Trying to finish him off with that silly Marine Marauder medevac style. Reynor has adapted. And right now, he's looking incredible. Like, Maru's going to have to go back. I think we're going to have to see the later game style. Because right now, it's not working. Reynor has adapted. Okay? The Zerg will evolve. They will overcome. Maru's early mid-game Marine medevac timings have been figured out, and they have been dealt with. And it was partially the, not Data C, but the Waterfall was a great map for it. Not so much anymore. Jimmy! Sorry. Game 5. Match point. I think Reynor he has Maru's number now. And this is why Zerg players, I think, personally, have so much success in longer series as compared to Terrans and especially Protoss when put up against them, is the more opportunities you have to take a look at something, the better you're going to get at countering it. And since Zerg, for better or worse, Zerg doesn't really have that strength or weakness. There's not too many Zerg styles or openers that are going to be... What is the Sailor opener? It's, oh, he built 12 queens and then went Bane speed. Okay, so what do? I mean, and this makes it different from the last game. How? Because the devil's in the details. And exactly when and where you place those queens and how you use the Bane speed. And the way Reynor is getting those advantages is not in the tech choice. It's not in the units he's building, but how he's using them. Whereas Maru's advantages in this series, this is Command Center first, by the way. This is a very different take on it, but it's immediately 2 gas behind it. It's worth it. Yeah, no more meta commentary, no more begging for likes and subscribes. It's game 5. We're jumping in. Maru has 2 gas after the CC first. This has been a great series. I love watching these two play, especially against each other. There's a lot to be said for Cyril. But one thing you won't say about Cyril is you're not left on your toes very much. Cyril gets ahead, usually pretty early on, and he carries that lead most of the way across the map. Except against Reynor, at least. But with Reynor and Maru, at any moment, either of them could make a massive play or a huge miscalculation. And that could turn everything around. Like last game, Maru was off to a strong start. He had a great upgrade lead. But Reynor slipped Banelings in at the right moment. And boom, there goes the lead. Overlord Speed is on the way. Reynor thinks Terran's pretty sus. Overlord speed here for keeping tabs on what Maru's up to. And at this point, he knows it was a command center first. He knows the timing. In fact, even more gas at the natural? Is this a battlecruiser build? Is this just mech? It's going to be another 2-base. Maru just... Even on Stargazers, probably the most defendable 3rd base besides Moondance, which I have to assume Reynor vetoed. I'm trying to think, what is the other map we haven't seen here? Cosmic Sapphire, which... Yeah, that's likely a Maru veto, as it's such a huge map with so many counterattack opportunities. Playing Terran against Zerg is an exercise in counterattack frustration. That's at least my assumption going in. And there it is, bringing it, Game 5. It's not a novelty. It is the choice. The big battle cruisers. Maru chooses the fusion core, and he shows it directly to Reynor in Game 5. What a bold choice. And there's no hiding it. What am I watching? Oh no. Well, this is the opposite of what you want to happen. He runs by with the Hellions. 1, who does that? 2, losing 5 drones and forcing any more Zerglings? This is the worst moment to be losing drones. Even 5 drones hurts. It's not devastating. It could have been much worse. But this is the moment when you really need to focus on building up your economy, because that flying laser bathtub, I don't even know if Maru's going to jump it across. I think he might just fly it there and keep the tactical jump-off cooldown. We'll see. Will we see Yamato? Which will indicate likely 1, more battle cruisers, and 2, mech. He has the gas. Well, he's working on the... Oh, wait. Whoa, 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 whoa! Double starport battle cruiser. I can't believe I missed this. I'm sorry. I was so excited. I didn't know how excited I needed to be. Double starport battle. He doesn't care. Let the OV watch. Okay. There is no direct counter to this for Reynor. There very simply is no unit that deals with battlecruisers directly until you get to Corruptors. There's another command. Maru is building, like, what? Where's he getting these minerals? He's going double battlecruiser into double command center into double factory. This could not be more different than his other builds. After all this, after 4 games of biotank timings, he whips out the double battlecruiser mech Yamato. Maru. Reynor knows everything that... Reynor has every opportunity. He knows exactly what's happening. Yeah, he took a little damage, but he's had every moment to prepare for this. The Overseer is going to spot it. He's going to see the fusion core upgrading. Oh my god. It's Yamato cannon. The Queens. 2x2 into the main. Yamato is not yet done. He just flew the cruisers across. This is not a passing fancy here. This is the build. He's going to have 4 CC battlecruiser. I'm so excited. The speed Overseer is got a case of the zoomies here. Battlecruiser, the laser bathtubs. Corruptors on the way. Double armory behind it. He does the Noah's Ark build here from Maru. Now, everything gonna kind of simmer down. as neither player able to do critical damage this early on. The battlecruisers, while dangerous, Reynor has had all this time to prepare. +1 round mech and armor, which means this might be the end of the battlecruiser production for now. 4 cruisers. He's baited out a huge investment in corruptors. You have to overbuild. This is the most awkward part for Zerg, is how you have to overbuild corruptors. Because you cannot underestimate the battlecruisers. If you don't knock them away, or at least force them away, they'll just ransack your entire base. They do the damage. Oh no! Oh, Reynor once again getting caught by the Hellions. He's gonna lose 8-10 drones. The corruptors, 1 battlecruiser, eats the brunt of it, jumps away. The other 3 fire off their Yamatos and escape. Two more. Wait, he's building more. I'm sorry. I'm just. It's been a long series. Battlecruisers are back. They'll force him to stop the caustic spray. Tactical jump is on cooldown for 1. He knocks it down. The fleet is called in. These are all the battlecruisers. He chased them back home and murders them. But the SCVs are repairing. The corruptor count is not high enough to deal with this. The battlecruisers will hold for now. The Roaches and Ravagers. Roach speed about to complete, but the tank count is already comfortable enough. I don't know if Reynor can fight this. Reynor is maxed. Does he have an infestation pit? No. I expect one incredibly soon. It looks like he's going to try to bludgeon Maru here. But, oh, Brenda! Well, this is, there is no creep, so no transfuse, but he needs some anti-air. No. That's a capital N-O right now from Maru. These have 1-1. There's Hellbats. You might be able to work around the edges, but Reynor, this is the equivalent of tucking your tail behind your legs. Like, that infestation pit is an admission. And this, unfortunately, is in my opinion, Reynor's biggest weakness. Is up against the more defensive players. He really just wants to end the game. But this is not a game that he can end on Lair Tech. Very simply, without Infestors and or Vipers and or Swarm Hosts and or Broodlords, which seems like a wide array of units, none of which he can get without that infestation pit. The battlecruiser count, the fleet, is growing in number as Maru gets closer and closer to 200 supply. The scans, the queens, the creep, jutting across the map. The Ravager count. Machine guns into it. Yamatos. Blinks away. Tactical jump not too far. Doesn't want to be out of range of potential repair. Participating in the fight. The queen's getting the transfuses. Caustic spray. More Yamato cannon. Magfield accelerator done. And Reynor manages to bludgeon the planetary underneath all this. Corrosive bile is barely dodged. And you know what? Reynor's making progress. So far, he's lost over twice as much gas, though it only amounts to 1,800. 3,000 more minerals. Not a devastating amount yet. Ghost Academy begins for Maru. The concave of tanks. Corrosive bile not able to take out any. And Reynor really wants to keep the pressure on. If he can keep Maru limited to 4 bases, there is an opportunity to end the game before the map is sliced in half. The Corruptors looking for damage. The tank count getting pretty overwhelming right now. The Corruptors obliterated by the Yamato cannons unleashed from the battlecruisers. Another wave of Corruptors is joining them. There are 6 cruisers now, about to have +2 armor. Yeah, they don't do that much damage, but the laser batteries add up. And Cyclones for the mobile defense. Ghosts being added on as Maru has just shifted essentially almost an entire 180 from the style he was playing before into this defensive, high-powered, expensive mech. And Reynor has tried to chase him down. He's finished the infestation, but he has not started the hive. He hasn't started anything from that infestation, but he's still trying to press the issue on the base. Corrosive Bile softens things up. The Battlecruisers, 7 of them, making their way across. I don't know. The ghosts are here. They'll start the snipes. That's not a great feeling. It's not getting any better. Oh, and the Battlecruiser is just... The hive starts, but you really have to be proactive here. He loses 1 cruiser, but obliterates 7 corruptors with that Yamato volley. And how many corruptors are there? Can he even kill the cruisers? Like, Maru, he might bend a bit, but he's definitely not breaking. He can always jump away. Jumps a couple cruisers away. Yeah, the corruptor count. Yeah. The units lost is getting... Oh, it's bad. It's over double here in both minerals and gas. It's bad. It's real bad. I'm not seeing... Reynor needs that hive tech. That's it. That's very simply, like... He has to really switch gears here. It's not gonna work. Like, if the Corruptor Ravager didn't do it before this point, it doesn't get better. It doesn't get easier. The unit composition doesn't get less effective. Oh my god, Maru just... Well, on the bright side, he's walled in some of his tanks, so shout out to Maru for... me too. Oh my god, the snipes. Corrosive Bile's trying, but the snipes don't miss. Corrosive Bile very much can. The only thing here is tanks walling in other tanks, which is giving a chance for Reynor to get the damage done. But the Battlecruisers, Yamato is here. Snipes. Is there a jump? He has some jumps. Just open. Oh my god, the Corruptor's getting blasted out of the sky. Reynor's supply is plummeting. He doesn't have the economy. Maru has more workers. He's just grinding his way across the map. Beautiful bungle, as good as it gets. And he's actually gonna kill Ghost with Corrosive Bile. Ravens show up to the party. Oh my god, that friend that nobody wants to see but accepts is gonna show up sometimes. He usually leaves unceremoniously after wandering into somewhere he shouldn't. Reynor holds for now, though I think it was more Maru with an abundance of caution, not risking the Battlecruisers here. He was driving pretty deep into the heart of the swarm. Maru knows Reynor. Unfortunately, like, infestors are good. Make no mistake, but on their own against ghosts, there's no brood that Maru scans 4 times. No, this isn't Bronze League Heroes. He just drags the scans across the map. He's got 7 orbitals, more command centers being added. It feels insulting now. Another Quadra scan. He doesn't... The Ven Quadra scan here. The thing about this army, it doesn't move quick. But there's almost no real angle to challenge it. A couple tanks, a bunch of ghosts, some fungal opportunities. There are 2 infestors. I don't know what happened to the rest of the infestors. A couple got taken out right as they popped out of the exit, looked like. Yamato looking for a jump opportunity, gets a few more. The battlecruisers were never dealt with. The battlecruisers have been a constant anchor weighing down Reynor. Maru has just kind of swung them around the map. An incredible fungal. Oh my god! Well, he just doubled his battlecruiser kill count there. That... I can't believe Maru let that happen. That's as bad as it ever could get. 4 battlecruisers down to Corrosive Bile. And that leaves still possibly too many to deal with. He gets away with a 1 HP battlecruiser. Unfortunately, though, the ground army still struggling. Like, the tanks... Yeah, by the way, tanks. Is there a Greater Spire? No. Oh... if he could switch into Broodlords here, maybe, but I think... Oh no, he used all the caustic sprays! And I think we're kind of seeing the difference between Cyril and Reynor. Reynor just incredibly good at those mid-game trades. But instead of playing for the late game, he tries to end it beforehand. And that leaves him in this incredibly... He finds the battlecruiser at home. That's going to cost him some corruptors he can't really replace. Yamato's off cooldown. Blast of full health corruptor. Maru played this out. He played the full series here. Stargazers is a very tough map to attack into, especially those first 4 bases. The firing, oh god. At this point, the trauma induced from a Zerg player hearing the snipes. Oh god. At no point in this game do I feel like Reynor had... all the games have been quite close. And then here we are. This has been Maru running the table. Yeah, there are definitely points like Reynor showed us. There's a weakness. That fungal. You catch the cruisers. But now they're rack at 27 kills. Like... Oh my. There's no... like... The hive was too late. It's rough. Maru with a command of this composition. You can tell. He's comfortable with it. He knows his way around the ghosts and the cruisers. And those are incredibly, incredibly tough units to contend with. The Ventria scan. Making sure he always has vision. Never even risking like a burrowed infester or something. Not a chance. He's just he's scanning over his own army. He's keeping track of the infestors. There's the EMP. Fungals. The ghost count now 19. Battle cruisers jumping. Ready for the Yamato dunk. And GG. Maru. With an absolutely commanding Game 5. Blinks the battle cruisers in. And knocks Reynor out. What a... That series was all over the place. From the back and forth tank timings. I don't know if Maru would have planned on that no matter what. No matter how the series had gone. But pulling it out... By the way, he was getting 3 infantry weapons. Just... Well, Reynor. A great effort. But doesn't quite cross the finish line. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Check out this video. I heard this one's good. Jimmy says it's good. If it's not good, well, you know who to blame. Thank you for watching. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Good luck. Have fun. Stay tuned.